Well, an immigration company specializing in moves from South Africa to Canada says it's seeing a significant increase in Indian clients from Durban since the unrest. Whether or not they actually go through with the move remains to be seen. But Beaver Immigration Consulting says it's noticed huge interest from Indian people. Beaver Immigration Consulting founder Nicholas Avramis joins me now live. Nicholas, thanks for your time. So explain the trends. What are you seeing?
Thanks for having me. It's good to be back on ENCA. The trends are undeniable. Predominantly in the past, immigration from South Africa was mostly seen from the Gauteng, Johannesburg area, families, businesses, and a few from the Western Cape. Seldomly did we see any calls from KZN or Durban. It was just an extremely small market. After the civil unrest in July, that immediately changed. We have had a surge in calls, email inquiries, requests for consultations from the KZN area in Durban. And it's a fact that it's predominantly 80 to 90% from the Indian community, who by and large has been very successful in commercial endeavors and trade in the eastern part of the country. And the common theme I hear from consultations and inquiries is that there's a deep sense that what happened in July, it's only a matter of time before it happens again. And for many business owners who, have been in generational families and who have, millions of rands invested in their business, they want a second option and they want capital preservation. And they're also using business immigration as a way to move their family to another jurisdiction, that being Canada.
Yeah. So let's talk numbers, right? Because you say that by the end of this year, 40% of your clients will be Indian. But are you talking hundreds or thousands of people who are showing interest?
We're talking hundreds of people who show interest. In terms of people who sign up to actually go with the move, that takes time. It's one thing to go and study in Canada, which is a very popular route for South Africans, as it can lead to citizenship within 3 to 5 years. Business immigration is a big decision. It's not that easy to pick up a business and move to Canada. The actual immigration process can actually take anywhere between 6 to 12 months. There's a lot of planning that goes into this. And a big part of the planning is that most business owners need to wind down their business operations here or divest assets. One common theme I have been hearing from business owners in the Durban community is they're waiting for their insurance payout. And for most of them, as opposed to redeploying that capital here in South Africa, they're going to be looking to redeploy that in Canada. So it's a good question, but time will tell. Within 6 months to a year, when the Immigration Ministry starts releasing its data, we will know what the trends are and what the actual numbers are.
Yeah, and it's also interesting that you say that these are business owners who are wanting to leave the country, which doesn't bode well for our economy, of course. But let's talk about the other trends you're seeing among other races in South Africa. Has there been much movement from Gauteng? Because we saw the unrest happening here as well.
Gauteng's the number one market for immigration in the country. It always has been. A lot of the reason for that is there's a concentration of wealth and capital here. Most businesses of scale are here, and they have the capacity to make that move. So even though it's nationwide, Joburg and Johannesburg has dominated in terms of the client base, at least for Beaver Immigration for the most part. That's why we have our offices here. But another trend we are seeing is not everyone may have the financial capital and the resources for business immigration. So another huge spike we're seeing is parents inquiring about sending their children to study in Canada, and what we call mature students, those skilled professionals who are in their early 30s to mid 30s, who may not have enough points in Canada's points system for skilled worker selection. They go in and study for a year-long certificate or a 2-year college diploma into Canada to retool their skills. And after graduation, they get a 3-year open work permit, and then within 1 year, they can apply for citizenship. it's almost a way of a backdoor entry. But there's a reason why there's 700,000 foreign students studying in Canada today.
So apart from businesses, right, just say a normal person who has skills that will allow them to go and find another job in Canada, how big is the market for that to happen?
Well, the reason why Canada is such an immigration-friendly country, beyond the fact that it's always been in its roots, is because Canada is on a drive to welcome over 1.4 million new permanent residents by the end of 2023. Okay, the quota for this year is 400,000. From what the government's announced, they're at 300,000, and they're sure they'll hit 400,000. Why is that? Canada's a young country. We have a small population base. And as the population becomes older, we have massive job vacancies, okay? That's why they rely on immigration to come in and fill those gaps. So to answer your question, we need immigrants to come in, and they can either come in through the point system, study, business immigration options, or then they can apply for jobs through what we call arranged employment. The reality is, your viewers may find this interesting, but there's always discussion in South Africa about the South African brain drain. Canada has an immense brain drain. We have a population of 37 million people. About 3 million Canadians live abroad. About 1.7 million Canadians live in the United States. The United States takes all of Canada's top talent through tech, finance, legal. Even our journalists and famous actors, they all go to the U.S. That's why Canada is so aggressive and at times ruthless to go around the world and attract top talent, whether it's in commercial enterprise, skilled workers, or tradespeople. We need to fill up our job ranks.
Okay. Thanks so much for your time and your insight. Maybe I'll be moving to Canada soon. We'll see. Nicholas Avramis, Beaver Immigration Consulting founder.